Hello. Thank you so much for meeting me here on the mat today. I am so happy to have you join me for today's practice. My name is Melody, and today I'll be leading us through a quick cat-cow sequence. Our entire practice today is going to be done kneeling. So if you have a little tenderness in your knees, please feel free to grab a blanket and just fold that blanket across the center of your mat so that you've got a little extra cushion under those patellas and under those sensitive joints. With that being said, we're going to get a full practice in today without ever standing up, which is going to be spectacular. This kneeling cat-cow sequence is going to be great for your first movement of the day to help you get really nice and warmed up moving into the rest of your day or into a stronger practice. It'll also be really lovely as a little bit of action to decompress and loosen those joints before bedtime so you sleep a little more soundly. Or you can use it just as a little brain break or body break throughout your day if you need to give your spine and your hips just a little love along the way. We're not going to take any time today to start seated because we're going to come straight into that all fours position. So find yourself on your hands and your knees. We want to take palms under shoulders, knees under hips, fingertips spread wide and point to the front edge of your mat, and toes point to the back edge of your mat as you press gently into your shins. And to get started, we're just going to notice that. First, just let yourself relax, let yourself hang out, maybe let the weight in your shoulders get a little heavy. And then I want you to really press into your shins, press into your palms. Just notice how that feels a little different, how that helps you to engage all of those abdominal muscles and helps you find a little more stability in your low back and in your shoulder girdle. We'll try that one more time just so we can feel it in our body. Let yourself be a little lazy here. Let it all go. And then when you're ready, press into your shins, press into your palms. Feel that strength and stability. Now from here, we're just going to let our hips rock side to side, almost like you're skiing, right and left. This can come as deep or as shallow as you like into that movement. You might hear a little crackle and pop in your hip sockets like I do. We're going to start to stretch that outer band of our glute and our IT band. Good. We'll come right back to center. We're going to re-stabilize and find our traditional cat-cows. Just letting belly drop, tail lift, heart pull forward and face lift on your inhale. Exhale, round your spine, scoop it under, look back at that belly button. Take a couple more just like that. Inhale, opens up front body. And exhale, opens up back body. And now as we move, I want you to play with the origin of that movement. So think about your tailbone starting the ripple or the wave, rolling into cat, and then rolling into cow, almost as though each vertebrae were curling and unfurling, following the lead of that tailbone. Give it one more each way. And we'll come right back to center. Again, we're going to press into those shins. And now we're going to let our ribs trace a circle around the room. Imagine you were tracing the inside of a barrel. So we're really starting to utilize that thoracic spine. And your head and neck can move along for the ride, if that feels good. When you're ready, switch directions. Take that barrel roll the opposite way. Give it 2 more. And come right back to center. We'll take something I like to call scapular push-ups. So again, fingers are going to spread nice and wide. Eyes of your elbows start to swivel to the top edge of your mat. And then when you're ready, let your chest line drop down like you were trying to bring that center of your chest or sternum to the earth. And squeeze your shoulder blades behind you like you were going to hold a pencil between them. And then press into your palms. Draw ribs and upper spine to the ceiling. Good. We'll come down, squeeze them together tight behind you, and lift up, spread them wide and forward. Perfect. Take a couple more just like that. These are a little trickier than they look. They seem like they'd be really easy when you're watching. And then when you get into them, you find they actually require quite a bit of strength. And a lot of concentration to really isolate that movement into our scapula. Give it 1 more. And again, we'll come on right back to center. We're going to let our nose point down to the mat. And then from there, turn your nose all the way to the right. And then all the way to the left, like you were shaking your head no. And then slow and steady, take that action right and left. But gentle no shake. If that feels good, you can keep doing that. Or if you like, try to take some big, full neck rolls. Like you had a crayon taped to the crown of your head. And you were drawing circles on the wall in front of you. Don't forget to switch directions. And come on back to center. We're going to take a narrow kneed child's pose. So knees stay right where they are. Hips come back to your toes. Fingertips stretch forward and relax your elbows down to the earth. You might even flip your palms to the sky to give those wrists a little love. I know we've been on them for quite a bit. Breathe into your upper spine. And maybe even feel your breath traveling like a train car down your spine. So if you imagined that your vertebrae were the train tracks, your inhale comes in through your nose. That train car breath travels down to your tail, back up and out your nose. Give it 2 more just like that. We're going to keep our body right where it is, except for our arms, which will reach behind us. Interlace your fingers and either press your thumbs hard into your sternum or start to stretch those knuckles to the ceiling. Breathe into that deep shoulder stretch. Maybe see if you can get palms to touch, maybe not. Give it 2 more breaths. And lower those arms, walk them back out in front of you. And we'll find our way back to that tabletop. From here, we're going to tuck our right toes, drag that heel to the back of the mat. Imagine you were trying to pull the mat out from under yourself. And just take a little rock forward and back, stretching out that calf. Good. Give it 1 more. Come to the back. And then we're going to add left arm, reaching left arm straight ahead. When you feel steady here, press in to left shin to lift your right heel. Finding that sunbird. We're going to hold it here for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lower your palm, keep your heel lifted and take some ankle circles. And switch directions. Good. You're going to take these right toes, bring them across you outside your left foot, so we're a little twisted. And then we're going to press into our left palm to push our right hip back. So again, another nice long stretch down that IT band. Right leg is straight, left knee is bent. Right arm is straight, left elbow is bent. For one more breath. And we'll come on back to center. These right toes are going to come all the way around outside our hip. And then we're going to try to super glue all 5 toes down to the floor, pressing into that pinky toe. You might already be feeling this at your inner thigh. If so, great. Stay right where you are. If you want to go a little deeper, tuck your left toe and start to sink your hips back. But notice this right foot. If this right foot starts to roll up off the floor, you've gone too far. Bring it back. Super glue that pinky down. And find your space, whatever space in this posture feels good for you. Mine's pretty shallow today. I'm pretty tight. But it sure feels good. We'll give it one more breath. And we'll draw ourselves back to center. Release that right foot and right knee back down by the left. Left toes are going to tuck. Drag that heel to the back of the mat. And then take that little rock back and forth for our calf. One more. And then come to the back of that stretch. Add your right arm. When that feels steady, press into right shin to lift left heel. Finding that sunbird. This is where we really want to press into shin and palm, just like we did at the very beginning, to find that strength in our low and deep abdominals and find that support for our spine. We're going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower right palm down, keep left heel lifted and take some ankle circles. And switch directions. Now these left toes are going to come to the outside of our right foot, probably off the mat, and we're going to press into that left hip. So right elbow, right knee bent, left elbow, left knee long. Body starts to make a little C shape. We can almost look over right shoulder to find our left toes, sorry. Breathe into that side body. And come on back to center. I'm going to spin so you can see. But those left toes are going to open wide to the side. Super glue that foot down to the earth so we're pressing into our pinky toe. This might be plenty. If you want a little more back toe tucks, we gently press our weight back. Good. Breathe into that inner thigh. Whenever I work with kiddos, we call this Spider-Man pose. You come down and show off your Spider-Man hands. It definitely makes you feel like you're scaling a building, ready to pounce. Give it one more breath right here. And we'll come on back up through center. Knees meet under your hips. We're going to give our wrists just a little love right here. So we're going to take our fingertips and we're just going to rotate them wide to the side. So inner wrists are facing center, thumbs are facing forward, and we're just going to tick-tock rock right and left. Good. on back to the middle. Take those fingertips, complete that rotation around. So wrists are forward, fingertips are back towards your knees, and take that tick-tock rock front and back. Good, good. One more. We'll come on back to center. We're going to come back to that sideways, fingertips out to the side, thumbs forward. And then we're just going to take our palms and flip them under. So now palms are facing the ceiling. Thumbs are still facing the front edge of your mat, and fingertips are facing into center. If this is too much, you can just do one hand at a time. If you want a little more, take that gentle shift right and left. And if you need to bring a blanket or some padding under those wrists, that's okay. And we'll come right back to center, and again, we're gonna finish that rotation. So fingertips point to knees, back of your wrist to the front edge of the mat. And then gently think about rotating those elbow eyes forward, just like we did earlier. Again, this is intense. This might be plenty. You can stay right here. If you want a little more, gently rock back and front. And if you want to just do one hand at a time, that is perfect too. Give it one more little rock. And now slow motion, we're going to sink our hips back to our heels, and imagine your hands are glued down to fly paper, so you have to peel them up. Slow, 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 move through those fingers, roll up, and then shake them out. Good. Now we're going to come into a nice wide knee child's pose. So knees as wide as your mat, toes together. Push back on your feet, belly drops down the middle, and fingertips stretch to the front edge. If you like, you can continue that train track breath, imagining your breath flowing up and down your spine. Or you can really specifically try to visualize your sacrum and your tailbone expanding as you inhale and dropping just a little heavier to the floor as you exhale. One more breath just like that. We're going to press into our left palm to lift just enough to draw that right arm under left armpit. And try to find the outer edge of your shoulder and your tricep. And then rest your head back down. If you want to be a little more active here, think about pushing your left armpit into your right elbow pit, into the eye of that elbow. Breathe into that upper scapula. Right where we were doing those scapular push-ups earlier. This should be a pretty nice stretch right there. One more breath. And gently we're going to release and unwind this right side so that we can take our left, threading left arm under, finding outer band of that shoulder and tricep, and then gently starting to fold your body over that left arm. Again, feeling that space between your shoulder blades, right where your racer back would be of your shirt. And then imagining or visualizing that inhale, expanding that space. And then exhale, letting it sink a little deeper. We'll take 2 more breaths. And we're gonna unwind. We're gently just gonna come up to a seat right where we are. So knees stay nice and wide. Tush rests on our heels. Hands are gonna come to thighs or to knees, and we'll take some seated cat-cows right here. So on your inhale, tailbone back, ribs forward, chin up. Exhale, pubic bone curls forward. Spine moves to the back of the mat, and we look down at our belly button. Take a few more of those. If this is too much on your ankles or the tops of your feet, you can tuck your toes under or even come to a crisscross applesauce or Sukhasana. We're going to take 1 more back and forth. Bring ourselves right back to neutral, and then moving just our ribs again, like we did when we were in tabletop. Find that rotation in your rib cage and thoracic spine, like you were tracing the inside of a barrel. Give it 2 more this way. And then when you're ready, switch directions. Notice if you're clenching your jaw while you're here or gripping with your fingertips. Try to let those things soften for 2 more rounds. And we'll come right back to center. And then we'll take some neck rolls to finish out. So chin's gonna drop to your chest. Roll to one side and around. Hands can stay right on your thighs, or if you want a little deeper, let them cross or meet at the elbows behind you, just like you were crossing your arms in front, but instead behind. And when you're ready, switch directions. Take that roll the other way. This is another spot. You might hear or feel a little compression or crunching. And if it doesn't feel good, or if it stresses you out, then don't take that roll backwards. Just take a little half moon rock, keeping chin down to your chest. We'll take 1 more wherever you are, and come right back up to center. Perfect. You're welcome to stay on your knees or come to a regular Sukhasana seat if that feels better. But I hope that that spine is feeling nice and loose, that we've gotten a little bit of blood flow to wrists and ankles and hips and shoulders, and that you're just really feeling good having moved your body without ever even having to stand up. Thank you again for joining me here today. I cannot wait to hear what you think about this practice. Divine light in me loves and honors the divine light in you. Namaste.